So, are we live? Do let me know in the comments. I haven't done this in a while, so let me know if you can hear me alright, if everything looks good on your end, because yeah, it's been a while since I last done this. Yeah? Yes? No? Some people are saying it started. Good, loud and clear, awesome. Mm, yes, I need to pop out this chat window so that I can see it better. So this should be good. Can I zoom this in? I can. I'm getting old. So I have poor eyesight. Yes! Let's start. Oh, first order, Luca. Oh, a Lego employee in the chat. Let's go. Hi Pedro, hi everyone. So this is really exciting. It's been a while, right? That we've done a Lego live stream. And what a way to get it done right with the Death Star. Do you guys know about the story of my Death Star? Because it's a wild one. But I'll tell you all about it in a minute. So, I've already started the build. I started with bag number 1. Maybe sometimes I'll need to switch cams here. Yeah, bag number 1. This is what I've done so far, and then we have one of the minifigures, one of the 38 minifigures. So I'll continue from there and see where this leads. But then, yeah, sorry about this. I'm still trying to get the hang of this. Hey, Greg, nice to see you. A lot of people. Cool. Can I see how many people? This is very weird. How can I check this? Oh, 250 people watching. That's crazy. I guess we should start building this, right? Does anybody got the Death Star? I know I have, but it was quite the adventure. So October 1st, I went to the Lego store, Lego certified store here in Lisbon, which is the nearest one to me. And yeah, I was hoping to get the Death Star, but they told me they don't have the Death Star. Or they do have it in the back, but they can't sell it until the 4th of October because now they're trying to implement the insiders program so that you can actually get, you know, insiders points out of your purchases from these certified Lego stores. So for that reason, they rolled back the ability to buy the Lego sets on day one that I have done in the past in this very same store. Like I bought Rivendell. It had like the special pre-release, early VIP release, whatever. But that was a certified store, so that didn't count. So yeah, I was able to buy Rivendell over there. No issues, but yeah, for the Death Star, I couldn't. So I was like, I was so so sad about that. And hey, Shy, good to see you. So yeah, that was something. So I was trying to reach out to several people, you know, trying to get the Death Star day one because it is important. You know, I'm a content creator, so I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but you know, YouTube is a hard place to be and a hard place to have a business on. So, you know, being the earliest you can possibly be with these kinds of things is very important. Otherwise, financially, it doesn't really make sense to make these $1,000 purchases. So I was really trying to, yeah, trying all sorts of ways. You know, I even pulled the card. Do you know who I am? In the kind of way, you know. I told the guy the employee who was talking with me, like, just try to talk to your manager, you know. Let him know that I'm Tiago, you know, YouTuber. I'm good friends with Lego. I do this content creation thing. Let's see if something can be arranged for today. But sadly, they couldn't do anything. And I don't blame the employee. It's not his fault. It's like store policies or whatever. What bothers me is the fact that they changed the policies. But whatever. So you know, on YouTube, trying to be first and early is very important. So I was really stressing about over that. So yeah, I was hoping until the end of that day pretty much somebody would call me and say, Tiago, come to the store and pick the set up. We got a copy for you. You can buy it. I wanted to buy it, you know. It's not that I wanted for free or anything. I really wanted to just buy the set and be able to start making content like this, like the live stream. So that was something. So yeah. Later that day, I ordered the set online, paid extra for the express shipping, and yeah, according to the website, as advertised, I would get the set in 1 or 2 days. So if all went well, I would have gotten the set by Friday, past Friday. And yeah, I did get something in the mail on the Friday, but what I got in the mail were the rewards, not the set, which was so weird, you know. This is what I paid extra shipping for, not like the gifts. I couldn't care less about those. So sorry about the noise. So yeah. So today I finally got it and we can start making content about it, you know. Live streams. It will be a while until I get to build it all and then do the review, so bear with me. That will probably take a while, but this is an interesting one to be reviewing for sure, because you know I've seen the waves out there on the internet, so yeah, could be interesting. The Adventures of Buying the Death Star, yeah, for real, for real, man. How long do I estimate it will take me to build this? While live streaming, it will take a lot longer, you know. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the entire build on the live stream, or if I'll build off and on the live stream. I'm a fairly quick builder, but you know, getting to talk or talking at the same time as I'm trying to build certainly makes things slower for a little bit. So yeah, there's that. This is a 9,000 piece Lego set. 9,023. I don't know. Should take me like 6 to 7 hours to build. It could take me a bit less if I were to build this on my own, just, you know, speed building through it. But yeah, I don't know, 6-7 hours. The Gaming Boy with the super chat. Thank you so much. Are you going to do a review when it's done? Of course. I need to. It's such an hot topic, this Lego set, you know? The $1,000 Lego set. And this might be a hot take of mine, but I honestly don't feel the set is overpriced. Not at all. And by Star Wars standards even, it's actually a fairly good deal. So I bought it, so I can say whatever the hell I want, right? And nobody can say anything about it. So that's the amazing thing. So yeah, that'll make for some interesting arguments as well. Wouldn't you agree? What's my opinion on the set? I actually really like it, you know? I think it's a very interesting way, and I think the approach was very well done. I don't know. I guess I'll save my thoughts, my full thoughts for the review, but I actually like it. I think most of UCS sets, Star Wars UCS sets, at least the ones I own, have a huge problem. You don't see any of them displayed in the back, right? They're really hard to display. I don't know. The Venator is in my attic just catching dust. You guys might have seen what I've done to the to the Millennium Falcon. If you remember that controversial short or reel, or even the review. I actually show that in the review of the MIDI scale Star Wars sets or something. Yes, so I just completely destroyed that one. So the fact that this one is like a slice and it's very relatively thin, it actually allows for you to be able to display it on most like bookshelves or whatever, which for me makes it a little bit more interesting, you know. And if it was completely covered up, it wouldn't be as impressive. It would have to be way smaller. And then, you know, like UCS Razor Crests. I like that one a lot, but then it uses a lot of technical structure so that you can also get some interiors, but also all of the outside angles and cool details and all of that. Even the UCS Falcon, you know, it's huge, it's impressive, but it takes a lot of parts just to get the shape done, and you don't get any interior at all. So the compromise here with the Death Star, I feel, is great because, you know, you can actually have a good looking display piece where you can actually display all the minifigures. That's an interesting topic as well, because if you take the minifigures out of the set, it won't look as good. So it's clearly a display set that you need to have your minifigures on. It makes no sense when there's no minifigures in there. So I don't know, man. I'm losing myself in here, but so many things to say about it. But overall, I really think it's nice. And I am not biased at all in saying this because the designer is Portuguese and a friend of mine, so that has nothing to do with it. If I need to trash Cesar sets, I will do it, and he knows that I will. But I don't know, I really like this one. Warren with the super chat, enjoyed your Gingerbread 8080 review. That's a cool one. That's a very cool Star Wars model, you know. One of the ones that I've been most excited about as of recently, you know. Such a cool concept, you know. I was about to say that I'm kind of bored of big gray things, and this is kind of gray. Jokes on me, but that one, such an interesting spin on, you know, a set or a model that Lego has done a million times over and over. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure that it's doing well. I think it's like sold out or maybe on back order in some countries for sure. So mark my words, we will be seeing a lot more Star Wars gingerbread themed Lego sets for sure. For sure. Maybe this was like a trial thing with the AT-AT, a trial thing to see how it goes with people, and I think it's doing really well. So mark my words, guys. We'll see more gingerbread Star Wars sets for sure. Jean, hi Jean, how's it going? What is your favorite classic set from the 70s or the 80s? I wasn't born then. I didn't play with many Lego sets from then. So I wouldn't really know. I was born in 87 and I started playing with Lego, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years after that. So I wouldn't be able to tell you, I'm afraid. And the build, so far so good. I think we're making good progress. But yeah, I'm not sure that we will be able to see a lot of it then by the end of the stream. Will I manage to get one of the boxes? Probably not. My plan for today is a stream for about 2 hours, maybe more if I'm not too tired. It is 10 p.m. around here. So yeah, I don't want to stretch this for too long, but then again I also need to build this in order for me to be able to make the review. So I don't know. Let's see how we feel in a couple hours. Yeah, it's kind of late, but it, you know, when you're a parent, there's so much you can do. Or for these kinds of things, at least for me, I can only do them after the kids go to sleep. So yeah, it is what it is, but we'll push through. Star Wars themed Drydoll? What's that? Gingerbread AT-AT sold out in UK Lego store. There you go. Makes total sense. When's my birthday? April, 22nd of April. Yep. So this might have been an easy way to place like a 2 times step, because these sides look very similar. Aside from a differently colored, oh no, they're slightly different. Okay. I take that back. Hey, Lord Beer 92 with a super chat. How many bags does the set have? I honestly have no idea. The first box, like there's 3 internal boxes inside this one. So I opened the first one, so this is the first one, and inside this one I know for a fact that there's 26 numbered bags, so it should be around the same. So my best guess here is like 75 bags or something. Maybe Jean will be able to tell, she built it already. The amount of stickers is a bit disappointing. I don't think I've ever seen a sticker sheet this massive. It really is crazy. Let's switch the... Can you see this? This is insane. It makes sense. Another of the topics that I should save for the review. It makes sense even if you don't believe it, but yeah, the sticker sheet is massive. More super chats, oh guys. The nation for helping you refund the Death Star. Exactly. I don't think I'll make my monies. I don't think I'll make my money back out of this one, but I'm good, guys. If I bought the set because I'm financially okay to do this, I can write it off as a business expense. That's the good thing about being a content creator doing, you know, Lego videos. So you guys don't need to worry about that. I appreciate it, of course. Thank you so much, but I'm good, guys. Honestly, I'm good. And I'm missing a piece already. Wow. This is not good. This is it here? No. Okay, we have some trouble. But I think I saw message retracted. Greg Skeptic, $5 donation. Thank you. But what happened? Your volume is low. Every time an advertisement pops up, blows my ears. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Maybe I can raise it a little bit. Let me know if this is slightly better. Maybe I can crank it up a little bit. Is this okay? Let me know. Lego Technic Ferrari and less stickers, but 2 sticker sheets that size. Oh man, yeah, the Ferrari cars are really, really big. Yeah, and Greg got it with a discount. He was telling me earlier. That's cool. That on top of, you know, insider's points if you have them, and then you sell the gift with purchase set, then you're set. And I'm missing a 2x2 plate. Have I made a mistake somewhere? I sure hope not. Yes, I have. Okay. Found it. That's the problem with like trying to build and talk at the same time. Yeah, you get distracted. So if I was not talking and if I was not live streaming, this would be going a lot faster. So maybe, yeah, tomorrow during the day I might build something or some part of the set off stream so that I can speed up the process a little bit. And I have stuff coming in as well, you know, secret stuff, you know all about that. So yeah, I should get this done as quickly as I possibly can. Another super chat, Lord Beer, thank you. What's your favorite experience working at Lego? Honestly, what I miss the most about Lego is like the team environment. You know, getting to work with amazing people all around. Because, you know, being a content creator can be a bit lonely, you know. YouTubers will know. I'm always working by myself most of the time, so you know, getting to work with other people, cool people, like the Lego folks are, was definitely one of the best experiences of working for Lego. Another super chat. Are you going to be at Brick World Chicago in June? This year, I don't think so. I don't think I'll be able to make it. I've been 2 years in a row, and it's been amazing. Honestly, it's been one of the highlights for me of the year, for sure. But I don't think I'll be able to make it 3 times in a row. Sorry about that. But yeah. Trying to build a talk at the same time. That's why my wife likes that I build Lego, because I don't do that. There you go. There you go. I don't think I've missed any. Yeah. Hey, okay, let's go. I'd user on this channel. You know, I've told in the description of my video, if you cross a line, you're out of here. So yeah, you're out of here, man. Lego doesn't pay me. It doesn't pay me anything at all. I actually paid for this Lego set, $1,000. So there you have it. One of my favorite things in the world is like banning people from the channel, and the list is long, so long. So you guys, you cross a line, you're out of here. I don't care. I don't need this in my life. I think we're on the rank. Oh my goodness. Sorry. You've been in the wrong camera angle for a while. Sorry. So yeah, I've done this. Bag number 3, we're adding into bag number 4. Just the base for now. Sorry about that. From Switzerland, super chat. What's the worst Lego brick to step on? I don't know. Sometimes I'm scared when you do like some builds where you have like a bar like stuck on the round brick or something going up, and then if you put that on the floor, I think those kinds of builds could pierce through your feet. So I don't know. But my kids are good with Lego. I am as well. There's usually not a whole lot of Lego on the floor, so I actually never stepped on a Lego like as an accident, you know, like the memes. It actually never happened to me, so lucky me, I guess. You guys are crazy with the super chats. In no time this thing will be paid for. If you could design one last Lego set for Lego, what would it be? Man, Pokemon. I would love to have been able to design Lego Pokemon back in the day. I remember that me and a lot of colleagues were gutted to know that another brick company got the toy license for the product, so Lego wouldn't be able to do them. But now things are changing, you know. Lego Pokemon is coming. There's been some teasers for that. So yeah, for sure, like Pokemon is one of my favorite like IP licenses of all time. It's been so important in my childhood, you know. Pokemon Red, let's go, OG. So yeah, if I got the chance to design a Pokemon Lego set, I think that would have made my life. €10 donation. Jesus. Thanks for your genuine reviews and wish you a lot of fun building the Death Star. Keep up the good work. I enjoy it a lot. Thank you so much, Pierre. That means a lot. You know, People say I'm biased, but you know, it's comments like this that I truly appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yeah, so far so good. It's a nice build for a change where you get to use lots of bricks and you actually feel like you're making progress on a build. These days, man, sometimes it's only plates and only like the specialized pieces, but so far, so good. Lots of bricks, lots of plates. I like it. And you actually feel like you make progress like really quickly. So I like that. I bought this set with my insider points, only paid $450. Jesus, how many points was that? Damn. In 22 minutes, that's fast. 3 bags in 22 minutes? No, that's not really fast. I kind of want to time myself sometimes to see how fast can I actually build. And if I stopped talking for a bit, let's try not talking for a bit and see how fast can I do the remaining pieces here. Can you see this? Yeah, you can see this. I don't know, these like 30 pieces. Let's see how fast can I do this. Two hand builds. I'm so advanced. Oh my god. I'll probably forget something because I'm trying to show off to the camera. These two underneath. Okay, I missed a piece here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Done. You know, that's the usual building speed of mine. But you know, building and speaking isn't easy. We have a great time after the letdown at the Lego store. Yeah, that the Lego store experience wasn't really fun. But it's so weird because in the past they would allow you to buy the Lego sets on release date, even though it was a certified store. But for some reason they went back on that, changed the rules, and it made no sense. And I and I faced the Lisbon traffic for nothing. So that was very lackluster. You can get instructions on PDF. Yes, because the set is already out. I figured these would be easier than just going through the pages. So yeah, I do have the instruction booklets here, but I figured sometimes this is just easier. Like most of the times I don't get to build the Lego sets with the PDFs because, you know, they're only made public after the sets are released, and most of the times I'm building stuff before they're released to the general public, so that's a downside actually, because you know, building with the PDF sometimes is much nicer, and you don't have the glare on the papers. And depending on where your lights are, sometimes the glare on the building instructions will make it like really hard for you to see what you're trying to build. Dual legs. Oh, the dual legs. Oh my god. Such a not topic. You know, I can understand where people are coming from with the dual molded legs argument, but at the same time, I can also see where the designers are coming from. And the fact that something has been done in the past doesn't mean that Lego designers will be able to use those elements for eternity. It doesn't matter if it's like dual molded legs, like a decoration, or even a brick, you know. For ship in a bottle, I designed the ship in a bottle, and the big glass panes were a piece that existed back in God knows when, for some Paradisa sets, I think. But it was such an old element and it was retired that for us to be able to bring it back, we had to use one of those frames, you know. Reading through and listening to the interviews of that the Star Wars designers of this set, both Cesar, the model designer, and Maddie, the graphic designer, were very interesting to read because they actually opened up a lot more about topics that I thought would be a big no-no, you know. So seeing them being able to talk so openly about some of those topics actually allows me to open to talk about them as well. So man, I know the review won't be meaningful at all whenever I get it out there, but you know, be on the lookout for that because at least you'll get a unique perspective from someone, you know, who has been a Lego designer and can explain most of what the struggles the designers went through when designing the Death Star, you know. Yeah, I think we're making good progress here. Maybe I'm not reading the chat as much. Sorry, but yeah, paper glare is a real thing. Yeah, Greg agrees. Of course. The design of the newest Lego Star Wars Death Star took about 14 months to complete, beginning with the concept model in December 23. Yeah, that's actually kind of long, but given the size of the model, makes sense because usually like Lego sets would take, at least in Creator 3-in-1, where I was working, it would be usually like 2 to 3 months. I guess if you accounted for, you know, like sketch models done prior, you know, to show higher ups, you know. And so the whole process, yeah, usually takes like about a year, but for the design aspect of it, where I was actually, you know, going back and forth with the pieces and all of that, that was usually like a 2 to 3 month process. But I'm sure that Cesar has taken a lot longer to design a 9,000 piece Lego set. I can't even imagine how hard that might have been. And that's the kind of things, you know, when designing a Lego set, you have to take so much into account, especially a big one such as this, and then also the graphics come in, and the stickers, and the dual molded legs, and you know, graphic designers wanting to put newness in the Lego set, which makes total sense, in favor of, you know, doing things that have been done in the past and are not available for them to make. So I can kind of support that. But sometimes, you know, a model designer will be designing the Lego set, and then prices for the minifigures come up, and then the graphic designer goes to the model designer and says, oh, Cesar, actually and I'm not saying that this happened, but it could happen. Just to give you some examples of, you know, things I know happened in the past, you know. A model designer can be working on a Lego set, and you know, they have to work within a budget. So yeah, sometimes people from the team, maybe it's graphic design, maybe it's marketing, with the cost of the boxes or whatever, and they came back to and say, oh, actually these costs more than we initially anticipated, so that means that you'll have to take stuff down on the model, or maybe you'll need to not use as many decorations, or maybe go for the cheaper minifigures so that the changes in the model aren't so big. And then these cost changes like can happen like later in the process, and then, you know, the model designer is there left, okay, where do I cut stuff? And I'm so deep into the design process of the actual model, so taking a piece here and there could be doable, but not large chunks, because, you know, like cut downs on costs sometimes are are substantial, you know. It's really hard planning for things like this, especially. And I wouldn't know because I haven't done any of these in such a large scale, but I had experiences like even packing. I made a poly bag. The what was it? The pug, a pug poly bag for the Creator 3-in-1 team, and actually the packaging team came back to me a lot of times saying that I had to change my model because the amount of different pieces that I was using in prior versions of the model couldn't actually be packed by the packing machines Lego used. So I have to, you know, revisit the model and change and limit the amount of different pieces that I used so that the packing machines could pack the set into the bags. And you know, there's lots of bags in here. There's you guys have no idea how insane it is to design a Lego set. And I understand that most people wouldn't have access to these kinds of information, and so it's very easy to just, oh, they could have done this, they could have done that, why didn't they include the dual molded legs, why it's already in production. But there's so many different things to account for. You guys have no idea. So designers do their best, I feel, and they're never to blame where things didn't go as fans would have loved them to go. Sometimes it's like it's higher ups, it's limits on frames, it's limits on budget, you know. As far as I'm concerned, Lego designers would have wanted like every minifigure to be dual model legged, but it's simply not possible. Sorry, I've been rambling so much. So time for chat and water. I also like listen to Tiago's voice. Thank you, Willie. So what's up in here? Did I miss anything important? I hope not. Sorry if I did. Yeah, paper glare. Okay. You mean the packing line would need too many vibrating funnels and counters, and that wouldn't fit? Yeah, there's like just look at any Lego bag in a Lego set. You know, if you count the different number of pieces, if you were to do this for a lot of bags, you would end up in knowing a number that, okay, this is as far as Lego packing machines go, and that's exactly it. There's a limit to how many different pieces can be placed inside bags. So you guys, it's really hard. I hope I can collect my thoughts when doing the review and go like really in depth into all of the topics that are important related to this Lego set, like actually going through the interviews that, you know, David has done, and Brickset and Tips and Bricks, and yeah, I hope that I can find the time to go in deep as much as I want to, because I think this set deserves, and it would be amazing, excuse me, to have a place where I can point people, because sometimes I'll be saying in my reviews, you know, due to cost of production or this or that. So it would be nice to have like a video with all of this information condensed where I can point people into, you know, go check this video, and maybe if you are open-minded, you'll understand a bit of the struggles and a bit of what I'm talking about in here, you know? Yeah, bag number 5 is done. Let's go for bag number 6. Did I miss? Rachel, thank you so much for the super chat. Keep up the great high quality reviews. What is your most favorite Lego set? So right now it's a mix of 3 Lego sets. Rivendell, I think you can see it over there. Titanic up here, I think you can see it, and the Game Boy. I cannot tell you how good this Lego set is, guys. So every year I do my best Lego sets of the year awards kind of deal, and spoiler alert, I think the Game Boy will win most of those prizes. Are all sets not on display sorted into the bins? No, not anymore. I don't have time to sort Lego anymore. It's insane the amount of work I get these days. So nowadays, if I need to take a Lego set down, I'll just take it apart into pieces, put it into a Ziploc bag, and send it to the attic. There are sets that I know that I'll need for comparison's sake in the upcoming years, probably, so I try to keep those intact. Or, you know, Lego sets that I really like a lot. But for the most part, I'm constantly running out of space. So yeah, I can't possibly have them all on display. I don't have the time to sort them. So yeah, these days, when I don't need, or I think I won't need the Lego set anymore for reviews or for comparisons or whatever, I take it apart, I bag it, send it to the attic, and that's it. Sadly, I don't do custom builds anymore these days. I would love to go back to that. I'm sure people in the chat will let me know how they love my videos, my tutorials from a few years ago, and I feel that, I hear you, but you know, doing reviews these days, it's I like doing this. I have a lot of fun. It's less stressful for me, and I have a family to feed. This is more certain than doing tutorials was. So yeah, I gotta keep it to my strengths, you know. Welcome to Builder. We have a new member. I just opened memberships for the channel recently, so I guess Warren is our first member. Thank you so much for the support, Warren. Go Home Sam, I love your videos. Tiago, and I always appreciate your honest reviews. Do you have an all-time favorite gift with purchase set? Thank you so much for the super chat. Gift with purchase sets. There was some really good ones recently. I would have to check my playlist. There were a few ones where I felt, okay, this is good enough to be like a standard retail set, but I can't think of any from the top of my head. I would need to go through my playlist for sure. You know, the Felbeast was really good, I feel. Even though it didn't have like a lot of, or maybe the wings were exclusive, but now they're not because they're in the Balrog Book Nook. But the Felbeast, I feel, was really good, a really good gift with purchase set that I think a lot of people would have loved to have had as a regular retail set, and people would even have bought like multiples for sure. So yeah. My answer for now, unless I can think of a better one, like the Felbeast was really good. Halfway through the Lego Game Boy. Yes! Lego Game Boy. I tell you. Game of the year. Not game of the year. Lego set of the year. For sure. Not the Death Star. It seems to be an okay build, but not that good, you know. Yeah, the Game Boy. You know, it's small, it's affordable, it displays really nicely, and the building techniques. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I'm really big on building techniques and building experience. You know, as far as building techniques go, like the Game Boy, wow! Like every little piece has a purpose, but not just like some random purpose like support or whatever. Like I think the biggest praise I can give these days to Lego sets is sets that I wouldn't mind building again. You know, I built so many Lego sets, I don't have time to like be rebuilding stuff. So if I'm willing to take something apart and build it again, I think that's like the highest form of praise I could give to a Lego set. And the Game Boy is one of those. I would happily take the Game Boy apart to build it again and experience it again. It's that good of a Lego set. And if you guys don't have much money to spare, like, that's my top recommendation of a Lego set that will completely rock your world. Like, no questions asked. Game Boy. I know this is a Death Star video and I've been raving about the Game Boy so much, but yeah, it's so good. Some dude put a Game Boy emulator in this set, looking at adding buttons. Yeah, I'm sure people will come up with solutions for that, for sure. Baradur or the new Black Pearl? Black Pearl. Again, building experience wise, like, Black Pearl was amazing. Even though it isn't like the best deal out there, I feel it's overpriced. I said so in my review. But building experience wise, that was amazing as well. It was done by Mike Psyche, which is my favorite Lego designer out there, and everything he touches usually is like fine as hell, you know. Rivendell was done by him. What else? The Porsche 911, the Icons one, the NASA, the Saturn V rocket, and so many more. Everything he touches is amazing. So yeah, Black Pearl, he designed that one. Braços do Brasil, obrigado Arthur. Are there any other Lego sets under $100 do you think match the Game Boy building experience and value? No. Nothing comes even close. I'm sad to say. Well, under $100, the Retro Radio, no. I have it on display. Best Lego set of the year for me, for last year, so this is a good one. Minifigure vending machine is not under 100, and the cat is also under 100, and it's also really good as well. It was also a really fresh take on Lego building techniques and creatures, so the cat is also a very good one. So those two, Retro Radio and the cat, are really good. And under $100 there, sadly there isn't a lot of stuff under $100, which is crazy. Lego sets are getting too big and too wild these days. The small and affordable and with nice building experiences and that are easy to display are usually my go-to picks for Lego sets. Just finished the new big Super Mario Kart. That was a clever build. That's on my backlog. I'm looking at it over there. I bought it like whenever it released, and I to also get the blue shell gift with purchase, but I never got around to building it. And I'm usually a big fan of like the Super Mario stuff, you know. Bowser, where is it? Yeah, the Bowser is up there, the Mystery Cube. And you know, Game Boy, of course, so I really need to build the Mario Kart as well, for sure. Tall Neck of Horizon Gaming Series is great, for sure. That one was a great one as well. I had it on display for the longest time. Sadly, I had to take it apart. It was getting too dusty. And it did its job well. Okay, this is getting massive. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the UCS Death Star like up close. It's an experience in itself, for sure. Bag number 7. I hope for sales to buy the Lighthouse. It is a bit overpriced with all the technical stuff in there, but yeah, that was also one of the good ones out of the Lego Ideas theme. For sure. The function, like, I was blown away by the function of the Lighthouse. That's a really good one. But yeah, a little bit overpriced. When you add electronics to Lego sets, it's really hard to keep prices low, you know, production costs, and I could tell you a lot about it, but yeah, it's insane. So what's happening? Wally and Eve. Yes, that one's also on my backlog. I'm also looking at it. And I heard that one is really good actually. Yeah, now that you mention it, because it's all prints I've heard, so no stickers. It's like $70 or something. The Wally and Eve, and it's out of one of my favorite animation movies of all time as well. So yeah, and I actually had the original one from a few years ago. Yeah, so I hear the Wally and Eve is a really good one. So yeah, that's on the backlog. I should totally do the Mario Kart review. I need to do the Wally. When I went to Bill in Denmark for the Fan Media Days, I also bought the Disney, the Cruella de Vil, the car, the very stylish one. I think that's a killer car. It looks so good. And it's a playset, but it looks so good. So I'm also really excited to do a review on that one. So yeah. And I think the festive gingerbread house, I think that's the name. It's like the gingerbread house with the Santa for $40. That's a review that will be coming soon on the channel. But yeah, after that, yeah, maybe I should start working on my backlog. But now there's a Death Star as well, so yeah. There's that. I'm from Ukraine. Thank you so much for the super chat, Otto. Buying sets based on your advices since 1885. Good. Good. But at the same time, I try to always tell people, the old Lego sets you have are perfectly fine. I really have a hard time, knowing when people like struggle with money and then they go in debt to buy the newest Lego sets. When I was a broke college student, I was selling Lego sets to buy new ones. Thankfully enough, nowadays I don't have that sort of issue. So I feel really blessed with all of the opportunities that have been given to me, that I worked really hard to get, of course. But yeah, old Lego is just as good as the new one. Thank you, Otto, for the super chat. Having attended Fan Media Days this year without spoiling anything, what theme are you most excited for next year? How do I say stuff without spoiling too much? Icons is always amazing. There's always some crazy stuff coming out of that, and ideas as well. Ideas has been my favorite theme for the longest time, and yeah, continues to be. There's been a few releases of ideas that I've been like a bit, I wish they haven't gone that route. Like the family tree or whatever that was, and the London telephone booth was fun, but again, not my alley, or even the stem. But then for the most part, like, ideas is usually like killing it. Even the Twilight House. I watched the movies and I read the books like many years ago, and I actually like that set as well. So I think Lego Ideas is one of my favorite themes. I'm really excited for what they're bringing to the table next year. And yeah, they're the place for the out of the box ideas where things wouldn't fit anywhere else in the company. So yeah, I would say that, without spoiling too much, of course. Ever built a Sydney Opera House? Yes, actually I have. Actually, it was gifted to me when I was working for Lego. There was this raffle thing sometimes that we would do within our teams, and some Lego sets would be raffled among the people. Yeah, it was fun. But somebody else got the Sydney Opera House, but the box was damaged or something like that. Whatever. I was a bit sad because I didn't get it, but someone else got it, and I don't know. They must have seen how sad I was back then, because a few months later, I think I can't remember precisely how it went, but a few months later, he just gifted it to me. So yeah, I do remember like building the Sydney Opera House in Denmark, actually, with my wife. So yeah, um, a bit tedious at times, but amazing, amazing build. And it was one of the largest Lego sets that I had built at that time, so I was really impressed with how that turned out. But nowadays, I don't know how many pieces the Sydney Opera House is, like 3,000 maybe, 2,000 something, 3,000. Like nowadays, a 3,000 piece Lego set is you get 2 or 3 of those every month now. Ethan Liu, super chat, thank you so much. Are all the sets you have in the background shelves your favorites, or how do you decide what to display? Yeah, I think so. Most of them are, yeah, over in the corner there, I don't think you can see those. Those are the modulars, I always need them. But yeah, Rivendell, it's been one of my favorite Lego sets. Titanic is up here. The T-Rex as well is one of my favorites. I really like the minifigure. The Game Boy is like very predominant, not like in your face in the middle of it. And then there's the Endurance over there. It's not crazy, but good sets. Like the typewriter I love, the cat I love, retro radio I love. So yeah, I guess you can kind of say that the Lego sets in the background are ones that I really like and really enjoy. But then over time I need to, take some stuff down. Stuff has been there for many years, and yeah, but I don't see myself like taking any of these down anytime soon. Maybe the typewriter, because it's been out on display for like 5 years, I guess. The Endurance probably will go in the next opportunity, but yeah, good question. Excuse me. Yeah. I'm missing so much of this chat. Sorry. Oh, CPA AFOL. That Bionicle set in the back is super cool. Not in here. Not in here, buddy. That's fake Lego, Bionicle. I always like to rile up CPA AFOL. So let's switch the camera, and we have our second minifigure of this set, Luke. So this is bag number 8, 2 minifigures. It's crazy to think that there's like 38 minifigures in this set, but I've only built 2. But I guess once you start like building all of the rooms and dioramas, maybe that's when you'll get most of the minifigures of the set. So that's probably it. Agreeing with Tiago's answer about Family Days. Looking forward to Pokemon next year for sure. I'm really excited to see what they can come up with Pokemon. They'll probably do, this makes me a little bit, well, I don't want to say sad, but they'll probably do something like Super Mario. Maybe. It will for sure have playsets, and playsets aren't usually what adults want out of, sets. So I'm sure there will be like playsets, maybe like Super Mario. I hope not, but maybe we'll get some of those, but maybe the pieces won't be so, so crazy. Like Super Mario was, and I know nothing about. Actually, they didn't show Pokemon at Fan Media Day, so I wouldn't know what the Lego sets look like. But yeah, I'm sure they'll do something like that, probably. But they'll also for sure will do adult sets, because you know Pokemon, it's like it's in the 90s. What am I building here? So I'm pretty sure that there will be adult sets out of Pokemon, and those I'm really looking forward to see what they can come up with. And you know, the other brick brand, as hard as it is for me to admit, has done some cool stuff. So at the very least, I hope that Lego can top it somehow. And this feels like an interesting building technique, because you do it like this, right? You clip something in there and then you do it like this, and then you start getting the moon shape. Kinda. So that was an interesting building technique. I like those. So we are building this way. Bag 150. What? What have I missed? Giant pyramid from the Lego house. That's a cool one. Some big sets, but to be honest, my favorite ever set is the Horizon Forbidden West Tallneck. Yep. And I also have the other one to review. The smaller with the two creatures that came out like a few months ago with the game as well. It's not as cool as the Tallneck, of course. O disco não me incomoda nada. I have some comments in Portuguese. Os poucos prints de pernas é que eram escusados a este preço. Yeah, somebody's complaining about the prints, which is fair, but like I said, you know, like designers are faced with lots of tough choices, and then there's also that the frames that has been talked about a lot in the interviews. And there's limits to how much like designers can do in regards to new pieces, new prints for any given Lego set. So when faced with those limits, what will you choose, you know? If the choice for like dual molded legs, all prints and whatever, that would probably mean that instead of 38 minifigures, you would only have like, I don't know, let's throw a number 20, which would still be okay, but this is a 9,000 piece Lego set, you know? When you look at it in the box and you see all of the scenes, there's like a certain amount of characters that need to be in those particular scenes. So if you were to take the number of minifigures down to half, this would look completely empty. So, you know, where's the balance? Where's the choices that you need to make as designers? They're not easy. So I get why people would be wanting, you know, dual molded, every prints, arm printing, everything on their minifigures, but it's simply not possible. It's not feasible. Stain on my shelves? No, just as they are from IKEA. Lego Disney camera. Yeah, that was a good one. There are some things that I would have cut out of that one to make it more affordable. But generally speaking, it is a good Lego set. That's one of the Lego sets that I took down recently. So, yeah, there you have it. Favorite set I owned as a kid, the one with most nostalgia. There was this a theme. It was like rescue. It was RESQ, the letter, which was like you know, not a police task force, but like not lifeguard as well. You know, when I'm not a native speaker. But yeah, it was like a task force that rescued people on their various missions, and I had like the big rescue base, which had like a boat and a car and a helicopter and then lots of tools, and I love that one so much. I built that one and rebuilt it so many times, so that's probably one of my favorites out of my childhood for sure. That and the UFO saucer, the one with the neon green panels or whatever they were. I love that thing. One of my faves as well. What piece are we using here? Oh, it's this one. Okay. That star looks like a lot of different sets stacked on top of each other, like every room can be a separate Lego set. Yeah, I can agree to that. There's definitely some of these that have been done as Lego sets before, like the trash compactor scene, and then the throne room as well have been dioramas in the past. So yeah, but I think it's a very interesting way of having the Death Star. You know, Lego has done two Death Stars prior to this. I guess three. You know, there was the re-release of the dollhouse style of Death Star, and honestly speaking, that one doesn't look spherical. It is a sphere, but it's completely hollowed out. So, you know, there's this argument that people would have loved to have had like a round Death Star, and honestly, there's been like round Death Stars before, or roundish Lego Death Stars before. So the fact that this one takes a new approach on the concept, I think it's really cool. And like I was saying before, you know, if you were to have like a completely fully enclosed Lego Death Star, even if it was $1,000, it would be much smaller in size, and like more than half of the budget would be spent on the paneling and supports and structures, and you would hardly have any interior details at all. You know, like the UCS Millennium Falcon, only a few rooms in there, and very tiny, and with lots of, you know, not so clean details around, because a lot of the structure could be seen even in those interior areas, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I think while I do see what you're saying about the dioramas, I think this is a really nice way of, you know, reimagining the concept. At least for me. Favorite Bionicle? I wouldn't be able to tell you, you know. I consider them nowadays to be fake Lego, even though when I was a kid I did looked at Bionicles on the what were they, the catalogs, and I really wanted to have some. I never did, so maybe that's why, like, these days I'm so against Bionicle in general, because it's like such a weird system. It has nothing to do with, you know, the Lego bricks we all know to love. So yeah, but there's a funny story that when I was coming back out of my dark ages, I actually asked my mom to buy me Lego for my birthday. You know, I was coming out of the dark ages. I was having fun, like doing my custom builds with Lego. So I was like, yeah, maybe if you could give me some Lego for my birthday, that would be cool. And she didn't know better, of course. I don't blame her, of course. But what did she give me? She gave me some Bionicle set, because she looked at the age marking in the box, and she was a bit concerned that she would be giving, like, you know, minifigure based Lego sets with 8 plus on the box, or 10 plus, or whatever the age marking was back then. So she gave me the highest age marking that she could find, which was a 16 plus Bionicle set. And I was like, thanks, Mom. It wasn't this kind of Lego that I was hoping for. But yeah, and it feels like I completely missed one of those panel thingies back there. Super chats. Many of us heard a piece fall off. Not joking. I don't think so. Thank you. If it did fall off, I'll find it soon enough. sampler info. Thank you for the super chat. And Adaman, £1. Thank you so much. If they make a full spear, they need to make it splittable in half, so you can display two halves with all of their rooms visitable separately. But then, like you force the center of gravity of alpha sphere too much that the thing would like fall, right? Unless there's a connection in the middle. But even then, imagine that you have like the spheres, and then you opened it like this. Where's the center of gravity go? The thing would fall. So yeah, I can understand the decision here. And there's been a few images. Oh, so I should have done this panel thingy 2 times, so that's the mistake. And there's the interviews done to the designers. I think I've seen some concept images of what the Death Star was in its concept, in its sketch model concept form or whatever. And the sketch model from the very beginning was like a disc-shaped thing with lots of rooms in there. So yeah, they just stuck with the concept and went with it, and I think it's fine. Definitely a new and interesting take on something that has been done before, like in 2 different styles. So why not explore a new one? So yeah, I need to place, I hope this doesn't fall off, and then this goes here. I really like this, the way this was done. Done. That's it for bag number 8. I got the fallen piece and clutched it again some minutes ago. Thanks, Pedro. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Live, I thought Thiago was an AI. Yes, I am an AI bought by the Lego company to only say nice things on the reviews. Such a lie. Are you finishing it all today, Luca? I don't think that's humanly possible. And yeah, you know, speaking at the same time makes it go a little bit slower. I think I'll be doing a couple of live streams this week to tackle this. Maybe I'll build off stream as well, but no, I'm not trying to do a marathon here. Excuse me. Not at all. And face cam, and we have a stormtrooper, so this is minifigure number 3 out of 38. We still have a long way to go. But I think we're making good progress with the build. The base kind of looks like a sphere, right? Or a moon. The "that's no moon" jokes are wild, have been wild. For sure. We're in for a 24-hour live stream then. Yeah, I am definitely not prepared to go to those lengths for this Lego set. Okay, I was about to make a mistake. Pino, bye. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's probably getting kind of late. What time is it? 11:15 for me. Yeah. Feeling good at the moment. We're making good progress, so let's see. It'll run the live stream for until midnight for sure, and after that, let's see how we're feeling, how I'm feeling. For now, I'm good, and yeah, I think not too bad progress-wise, considering how I'm talking and building at the same time, which makes things slower. Is it fun so far? Actually, yeah, it's okay. Like I said, nowadays, like, Lego sets have so many specialized pieces, So it's good to be able to, you know, use the good old bricks in such large amounts. So I haven't seen anything, and I know there's lots of play functions on the set, which I'm honestly also really excited to build. But I think there's still a long way to go until we get to some of those functions. But so far, so good, you know, lots of bricks, very enjoyable. You actually feel like you're making progress on the build. Cool studs not on top techniques. This panel thingy over here, just going into place like this, was very interesting for sure. So yeah, I would say so far so good. My 4-year-old butchered my first 18 plus set for the components. It was a Café from the Friends TV show. That's okay. That's the thing with Lego, you can always build it again. So there's this large chunk here that will support the wider area of the set later on. I'm assuming correctly, I think. Thank you for your compact and informative reviews. What do you think about the recent rise of alt brick brands? Nah. This is a Lego channel, I don't really care about other brands. But you know, people are free to do what they want. It's just not for me. Why the Lego didn't send you this one for review? I don't know. But then again, you know, Lego doesn't send me everything or every Lego set to review. I do buy Lego sets every now and then. Here's an example. And yeah, you know, as in the Lego Ambassador Network, which I'm a part of, and that's how I get some of the early review copies of the sets that I feature on the channel. As part of the Lego Ambassador Network, you can tell them your priorities, you know, a list of Lego themes that you would be more inclined to get for review offers. And Star Wars isn't on my top picks, whereas it surely is on the top picks for a lot of folks on the Lego Ambassador Network. So I guess it's only natural for me to not get it as a review offer, because it's not on my priority list, where people who have it on their priority lists should get it, you know. It's such an art space to be in, specifically in Lego Star Wars, you know. The fandom can be very vocal about their discontent, and then like embargoes are always changing for Lego Star Wars sets, you know, the date that you are actually allowed to speak and to showcase the Lego sets. And so it was so stressful, such a hateful environment, and I was like, yeah, I don't need this in my life. I'll focus on everything else, and that's been working out okay for me. So that means that I don't get like Star Wars review offers as much, or not as often, and that's completely fine. And now I got to build it, and now people cannot complain about the fact that I got it for free. So there's also that. And we are about to place our first sticker, you know? Quite exciting, or not. Oh man. You know, and again, cost of production. It's really hard to come up with these elements that you'd only have one print of in such a big set, because like production wise, you can't justify making a print out of this particular slope, for instance, if it's not going to be used anywhere else ever, you know? So you're taking like production slots on the factories to print these elements, and then, you know, they can't process it. And imagine if all of these were individual printed elements, not only for the fact that the costs would be huge, because, you know, you can't really compare like having a non-printed element to a printed element, production wise, cost wise, and then like it's simply not feasible to have, you know, how many stickers is this, 50, 60, 70 with the doubles, I don't know, 50, it's the highest number here. 50 machines pumping out these pieces, like the way production is run in Lego. And that's an interesting topic actually, and that's why nowadays, because back like a few years back there would be these huge waves of releases, like there would be like the big January release and the big June release, right? Two big waves where most Lego sets would fall into those. But nowadays, if you notice, like the releases of Lego sets are phased out throughout the year, and that's to make it easier production wise, because if everything is coming out in January and in June, that puts a lot of strain in production, because, you know, there's so many bricks that the factories can produce at any given time. So the fact that it would be like pumping, you know, 900 products that Lego is releasing this year so far, 900 something. If you go to Brickset, there's like new products released in 2025, there's 900 products. So imagine splitting 450 products for January and 450 for June. It would not be possible, you know. So that's why they phase out releases these days, so that they can also phase out production. So that's why that when things aren't as easy to forecast for, you know, and when sets go into back order, you know, getting them back into production is incredibly difficult, because like there's like these blocks of productions. Okay, now we're doing Death Stars, now we're doing Super Mario Karts, now we're doing Wallies and Eevees, you know. And then if something messes that up, and if calculations aren't done as accurately, because how can you possibly guess, you know, the demand for $1,000 Lego set, you know? And then if things fall out of that, then, you know, it's a mess. I don't know. I feel I've been rambling about too much, but I'll try to talk as much about it as I possibly can when I come up with a review for this one. It'll take a while, but I'll try and do it. So now we're placing this. How? Oh, it's up. Okay. And sorry, I've been disregarding the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm a builder at heart. If he hasn't done many Star Wars sets before, there's little reason to expect it to cover this one. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be doing a review on this one. It'll probably take a while, but I'll be doing it. Samuel James. Also, like Game Boy was my favorite build of all time. There you go. Back to Game Boy. Such a good set. Bag number 10. Kind of feels like I'm making good progress, but at the same time I'm not even done with half of the first box when it comes to number of bags and pieces, and there's still 2 more to go. It is a 9,000 piece Lego set after all. How do I disassemble my Lego sets? I just destroy them by hand, you know. I don't even take like individual pieces. I just try to destroy them as fast as possible in chunks that will fit into Ziploc bags, and that's pretty much it. And then our second stormtrooper. There's another one. Do you know who is actually profiting more from the licensed Lego sets? The brand like Star Wars, Horizon, Lord of the Rings, etc., or Lego? I wouldn't know. And even if I knew these numbers, I couldn't disclose them. But I would say like the royalties, I would assume that the royalties wouldn't be as big of a cut as Lego's profit margins, I would say. But then again, I wouldn't be able to tell you even if I wanted. Even if I knew, because I don't, but yeah. The best 20 € Lego set. Wow. That's a really tough price range. I don't build that many small sets these days, maybe some city ones. I wouldn't be able to tell you, I'm afraid. Do I always use digital instruction when building? Luca, when I have them available, yes, but most of the times I don't, you know, because with the review offers, the sets aren't usually live on Lego's website, but whenever possible, I like to use digital building instructions. But I've actually never used the Build Together app, and I've heard many good things about it. So I'm really curious to try it out, because they do something special like within the app where they can split the builds in ways that they're not split in the building instructions, I heard. So I actually am really curious about trying the Build Together app. But yeah, whenever possible I build digitally, but most of the times I don't have digital instructions to build the review offers. Elden Ring, I have no idea. That's a game, right? I'm not big into gaming, I'm afraid, but I've heard of that game. They're doing so many games these days, so why not? They're doing Fortnite, Super Mario, Pokemon upcoming, so maybe. They've done Zelda, that was a big one. Fans were asking for years. Yeah, do you ever use glue? No, only on commissioned Lego builds. Those are rare, but I do them every now and then. I did one recently actually, and for that, since it was going to be used and handled by a lot of people, due to the particulars of this particular job, I had to glue them, but usually no, I don't glue Lego. You don't use the Kraggle. That's forbidden. Only if someone pays you to do it. Then yes, then I'll do it. But not for myself. Iffy about getting the BDP Sequoia tree, because I haven't seen anything on the tree build. Do you have any info? Is it repetitive, fun? I would assume it's a bit repetitive because you have like a couple of the trees that are done in a very similar fashion. So I would say it's repetitive, but at the same time it looks really cool. I got to see it like close in Billund, and it looks really good. But you know, I would not be expecting a fun build out of that one, if you're asking me. Yeah, Bricklink Designer Program sets just Series 6 actually just launched, so you can actually go to Bricklink's website right now and pre-order those if you're a fan of the range. I'm not the biggest of fans, I'll be honest, but I think there's good stuff about it. you know, like coming up with like Western sets that Lego doesn't touch for retail products these days. So I think there's value in some of the stuff that they do on the Bricklink Designer program. Just don't go expecting the same level of quality when it comes to the builds and building flows and all of that, because they're effectively done by fan designers and not actual Lego designers. So, but they've gotten better over the years. I'll say that. Since the first ones I got to build to the latest, I can say that they have gotten better, closer to the same level of quality as regular Lego retail products. What is a commissioned Lego set? In this case, a commissioned Lego build. A commissioned Lego build is, you know, like a client comes up to you and says, oh, we need something like this and this and that built out of Lego. And if you know how to do it, you do it. So yeah, a client asked for some builds. I designed those, I bought the pieces, I glued the pieces, I sent the work for the client, and yeah. What step am I on? 258. I don't even know how many sets this set has. But I'm sure a lot. What's your view on the black box art? I'd like them to bring back proper art for the 18 plus boxes. I agree. I've heard some explanations about that, where Lego wants to be perfectly obvious what is and what isn't like Lego sets for adults. So the black background is a way to make it like very clear to adults that those sets are for them. So that's kind of the reasoning behind the boxes, but I do agree that they're kind of boring, you know. They've done some amazing stuff in the past, you know. The ship in a bottle, for instance, was a great example. The box was like amazing. The scenery of that one was really impressive, and I'm not saying that because I got to design it, but it was really fun. And it's you're right, it's kind of sad to see that go away, and I can understand the reasoning, but you know, it's a shame that we don't have that anymore, just to make, you know, some adults feel better about their purchases, and you know, don't be judged when walking out of a Lego store with something that looks like a kid's product. I don't know, I wouldn't personally have problems with that, but you know, Lego does their marketing research much more than I do, for sure, so they should know. It's hard to stop watching and listening, but I have to sleep, for sure. I'll have to sleep soon as well. Thanks for stopping by, Tom. Do I have a favorite Star Wars film? Episode 1. I was born when the prequels were coming out on the movies, and yeah, those are really special to me. So yeah, either episode 1 or episode 3 was very special to me, and yeah, I love the pod racers, the pod race scenes of episode 1. We have Stormtrooper number 3. So I'm not sure that a UCS pod racing set would be any interesting, but I would love to see one. There's like very few things that Lego hasn't done, like from mainstream Star Wars, as UCS sets, I would say, but I would love to see like Anakin's and Sebulba's pod racings, the pod racers, as a UCS set. That would be impressive. There's been some fan builds out there, really good. So yeah, I like the prequels. Sorry. How did you become a Lego designer? I just applied. There's been plenty of interviews out there and, you know, videos. But yeah, basically I just built up my Lego portfolio of custom creations. I waited for Lego to open job openings for the model designer position. I applied with that portfolio of mine. And yeah, and then the usual hiring process for Lego. There's a good documentary on it on YouTube, and that's the type of research that I did back in my day to know as much as I could about it and to be prepared in some way. But I guess it turned out okay, you know, since I got the job. So yeah. Build, make a portfolio and apply. Or go the designer route. There were lots of people that haven't touched Lego bricks in years that also got hired, but they took degrees on, you know, product design or any kind of design for that matter, and they still got the jobs. And then Lego can just teach them the way of building with Lego bricks and Lego sets. So there's many ways to go about it. Okay, so who is messing up the build? So yeah, this goes here and this goes here. 2,142 steps for the main part of the set and 81 bags. Thank you for the facts. So yeah, I'm at step 270, so I'm about 10% done. Have I built like 1,000 pieces worth of the set? If that's the case, I'll need like 10 live streams to end up this set. Oh my god, that will take a long while. I'll probably have to build off stream tomorrow during the day to get ahead of this, because this is simply too massive to be building on live streams alone. Delusion Brick, hello! So we have a fan designer, a Lego Ideas fan designer in the chat. Good to see you again, man. What is my favorite Lego theme? Probably Ideas and Icons. Not everything that Ideas and Icons does, but you know, generally speaking, most of what these themes do I like. So yeah, Ideas number 1, Icons number 2. Like to subscribe. Yeah, let's get these likes up. How many likes does the live stream have so far? People forget to like sometimes. Firebird Bricks, 10 live streams sounds reasonable. Hi buddy, how's it going? Go check out his channel, he does some really cool mechs. He's the coolest guy ever. One of my friends I love to meet whenever I go to Brick World Chicago, which, like I said before, I probably won't make it this year, sadly. But yeah. And then Michael MKM Brick. Sounds reasonable, so we are repeating everyone else's comments now. Is that what we're doing? Hi Michael. Good to see you as well. Cool channel as well. He's killing it on YouTube in ways I'll never be able to. That's for sure. So we now need to turn this, okay. Neil, must have to bed until uni tomorrow. All the best from Edinburgh. Thank you so much for stopping by. How come you didn't go to Scarback, by the way? I wanted to chat a bit. Have you considered building stuff for the Bricklink Designer program? So I don't go to Scarback because that means like extending my trip for a few days. And you know, I'm a father, I have some kids at home. Some kids, 3 kids. And yeah, so whenever I go to, you know, fan media days, I try to just do that. I've been to Scareback before, so you know, I've checked the events. It's been getting bigger, I heard. So it would definitely be interesting, but you know, like 4 days away from home puts a bit of a strain on the family. So yeah, I keep it to the bare minimum. So that's why I didn't go to Scareback. As for Bricklink Designer Program sets, I don't think I would like to go there because, you know, the fan designers do have a lot of work. So if I were to do something along those lines, I would love to submit a LEGO Ideas project and seeing it turning into a LEGO set. I would love for that to happen, but for that to happen, I would need to, you know, take some time to building. But I would love that, and yeah, I have ideas. I have lots of ideas. But then, you know, you give the idea off to the amazing LEGO Ideas design team, and they take over the process. So that would be much nicer than going through the route of the Bricklink Designer Program. And the way they do things, it's very time consuming. And you know, they get the 5% royalties out of their sales, which is really cool. And even for like bigger sets, like 300 sets, like 5% of you know, 30,000 units sold, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but I don't know. If I'm making a Lego set, I want it to be like proper, like the best it could ever be. And the place for that, I feel, is LEGO Ideas. Yeah, not going to Brick World will be sad for sure. It has been the highlight for the past 2 years. I'll say that. And here's our 4th Stormtrooper. You know, it's one of the biggest events in the world, like Brickworld Chicago. Not sponsored to say this, never was, but it is an amazing event. Like the builds there are amazing. And it's one of the biggest events, so lots of people will be going there. But for me personally, the interesting thing is like getting to network with fellow content creators because it has turned to be the place where like most of the Lego YouTubers and Instagrammers and all of those nice people come together. If there is an event where like a lot of them are, I would say that's Brickworld Chicago. So yeah, for me personally, like being able to go there and network with all of these people and fellow content creators is the best for me, because again, you know, being a content creator is a very lonely job. You know, I'm here all alone building a Lego set. Of course, I have the chat to keep me company, but that's usually not the case. So whenever I get a chance to justify it professionally, a trip where I get to be with other people that do the same kind of stuff that I do, I always have a blast. And you know, I've made friends over the last 2 years that I've gone there, and you know, it's cool. It was great seeing you and beating you in Mario Kart at Brickworld Chicago this year. Yeah, I guess it was. Good for you, man. Good for you. I'm not salty at all. I'm so competitive, guys, you have no idea. And I consider myself to be a fairly good Mario Kart player. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever it is, not the new one. I've seen images of the new one and videos and it's kind of wild. You don't even like race on the racetrack anymore. You're just like jumping around and doing tricks and riding the rails and stuff like that. It's crazy. Okay, we're starting to build it up, apparently. Thanks for making videos. Thanks for watching. That was nice. CMAC. Looks promising so far. Yeah, I think we're making good progress. I'm not sure that I'll be able to last much longer, but I think it's good process. Good progress, actually. Step 308 out of 2000 and something that somebody was telling before. So, you know, 15% done. Oh man, 10 live streams. That's the goal, I guess. Let's see how much progress I can make tomorrow. I'm not sure that I would be able to do a live stream again tomorrow. So maybe Wednesday I would be on again. But I don't know. Should I live stream every day, every night until we get this done? Let me know in the comments. Obviously, I know the answer to that question, I guess. I'm setting myself up for that, but I'm curious. I'm planning on going next year to Brickworld. Been 7 years since I went. You should definitely go, Luca. I've had a lot of fun. And I'm sure that you know a lot of people there. Some Lego designers go there to do presentations, but on their own as well, like Marcus usually goes there as vacation, which is cool. So that's how much people love these events, you know. They actually take vacation time to go there. Bag number 13 out of 75, right? I love the live streams, yes. Do your fingers even ever get sore? Yes, they do. Especially when building Technic or taking apart Lego Technic. One of the reasons I dislike Technic in general. Building like one Lego Technic set per year. No, the smaller ones, not like the super big ones, because that's not fun for me, at least, of course. I'm not one to judge, but you know, if you pick like a smaller sized Lego Technic set to build, to see how things are going with the theme, is enough for me. But you know, taking those apart really is painful. And here it is, Han Solo, the man himself. Back printing as well. And it's one of those that, you know, have been done in the past. I believe this is one of such cases that have been done in the past, but then have been retired. And then, of course, doing a Lego Death Star would require Han Solo to be in there. And there's actually a couple of Han Solos, right? The Stormtrooper outfit should be there as well. But because it was retired, even though Lego has done it in the past, you know, requires new frames. And spending frames there means that you don't get to spend frames on some other stuff that fans feel like they should have gotten, which is fair. But yeah, it's the struggles of making choices isn't hard, and I'm having a hard time understanding where these pieces go. They go here. They go here. absolute favorite Lego channel. Thank you so much. Did you study design or art at university? Yes, I studied multimedia design, but honestly, I don't think that was how I got my job at Lego, if that's what you're asking. I do it the fan builder way, you know, building up a portfolio of my custom creations, sending it to Lego, and yeah, and then going through the usual and normal process of recruitment process. That is a huge build. It is. Take your time and enjoy it. It is no fun when you feel forced to do it for the stream. For sure. I figured, well, since my review will probably flop because given how much time has passed since the release of the set, I figured, well, let's make the most out of it. Maybe live streams is a way to go about it, you know, to have a bit of extra content out of the set. It is $1,000 set after all. But again, as I said in the very beginning of the stream, you know, I'm taking this at a loss and it's fine. And I won't make my money back out of this one, and it's completely fine. I bought it because I can, because financially I can do this. I can write it off as a business expense. So that's the good thing about doing Lego videos, you know. And yeah, I'm taking my time. I'm not speeding through this. I have no pressure on me at the moment. So all is good. I thought this set was just flat from the box. Okay, I must do a Lego idea. I want to do a Lego idea. The things with Lego, with having to come up with a concept for Lego idea is like it takes a lot of time to design a Lego idea, and yeah, time sadly isn't something I don't have a lot of these days. You'd be surprised to know how much work goes into making Lego videos, because it's not just making the videos about the Lego sets. Excuse me, you need to build the Lego sets, and the way I do things, then I need to script the reviews of the Lego sets, and then I need to record the audio separately, and then I use that script to shoot every single shot that I do for my reviews, and then I do them, you know, with tripods. All shots are fixed. There's like no wobbly handheld footage. Nothing against to people who do it that way. That's not my style. So, and then there's editing, though for editing these days I get some help, and that puts off a lot of pressure off my shoulders, which is good and frees up more time to build more Lego sets and do more scripts and record more audios and record more video, and the cycle never ends. But I would love to have the time to come up with some Lego ideas projects. If I did that, and if I managed to get a Lego idea set made as a Lego Ideas fan designer, you know, I think my life would be complete. I have worked for Lego, I quit Lego, I became a Lego YouTuber, it kind of worked out. I actually submitted a Lego Ideas project that got to 10Ks, but it got rejected. Then a few years later, you know, Animal Crossing is a theme. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I guess I am missing a Lego set as a fan designer in my portfolio. So I have some ideas that I think would be solid picks as Lego Ideas products, but time, I don't have it. I don't have a lot of that. The huge letter is perfect one-to-one for decoration in my house. This is one of the very few things that I still keep intact from my time at Lego. This was actually a parting gift. I don't know if people know this, so let's show it up close and do a little bit of a break of the build. So this was a parting gift that the Creator 3-in-1 team, the team I was working on, in Lego gave me. So the C is for Creator, you know, and inside, if you look close enough, there's mini models of Lego sets that I've worked on. So there's the Polybag Pug that I was telling you all about it before. Here's the Poolside Holiday. Is that the name of the set? I think so. This was my first Lego set that I designed on my own. And then the truck and the shuttle transporter thingy. This one over here was a B model that I did for a blue sports car designed by Jeremy. Up here is the model of the modular skate house. One of the Lego sets I designed that has a printed piece with my initials in it, and not a whole lot of people know about that print. A truck that I did that had a monster truck and some ramps and all sorts of crazy stuff. A classic box set that I did. Which one was this? I don't remember this one. I don't remember this one, so I'm not really sure why this is here. And of course, at the top, the ship in a bottle. So yeah, there's not many things that last a long time built around here. But yeah, this is one that I keep for, you know, for memory's sake. It's kind of special, as you can kind of see. Need some water. And we are approaching midnight. But that sea isn't a sphere. There you go. There you go. Do I have any hobbies? I like to watch some anime shows. Try to play some games every now and then. Not too much, because again, I don't have the time. I play Pokemon, the TCG Pocket, the one for mobile. That's fun. Doesn't require a lot of gaming time. And yeah, and then I am a full-time parent, so as far as hobbies go, that's one that takes most of my time. If you know what I mean. Any plans to pick anything up on Amazon Prime Day or Black Friday? I don't know. I would have to check the deals. Sometimes I like to buy Lego and to gift like around Christmas time, so maybe I should check up on some deals over there for some botanicals. You know, those are always great for gift giving. But I would have to check up on deals and what's on there. It's probably a good idea. So this is an interesting step. So there's this large chunk of black pieces that I've been building, and we place it here. Oh, and you just push it in. This feels like a bit of an illegal technique, Cesar, because it's stressing the elements ever so slightly when they're going in, but I guess it's negligible because it happens so quickly. So this was a cool one. This was an interesting one. Yeah, it's looking like something. There's a crate in here. Any plans to pick up? Okay, I've read that one as well already. It's going to be the next big remake. like the Eldorado Fortress and Galaxy Explorer. I don't know. Could be cool to see. Because I built the Bricklink Designer program, I guess it's safe to assume that maybe LEGO wouldn't touch Western themed LEGO sets. They like to not overlap what they're doing with LEGO and LEGO Bricklink Designer program. That's why you don't, you know, see like modular projects getting accepted in modular building like entries accepted both on LEGO Ideas or on, you know, the Bricklink Designer program. So maybe the fact that they chose to do Western means that they're not doing Western as a thing for LEGO, but maybe Western could be a cool thing. I would love to see Adventurers. I would love to see like a big, you know, Sphinx or, you know, some kind of LEGO set with booby traps for Johnny Thunder. That would be amazing. So I would love to see that because I never had one as a kid. I did have like the Zeppelin one with that big balloon piece. I did have that one as a kid, but not much else. Most of it I was like just drooling over the catalogs, wishing for LEGO sets that I never had. So Adventurers would be a good one. I would love to see an 18 plus Adventurer set. Stephen Brown with the super chat. Tiago sending support from Iowa. Thank you so much, Stephen. It means a lot. Just applied to LEGO's Play Invention and Prototype Internship. Is there anything you know about it from your time at LEGO? I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. The company is getting so big, so fast. They're like building new office spaces like left and right. I heard that the Innovation House, which is where LEGO Design is located, situated, where most LEGO designers are working from, has reached capacity, so they're building a new office space for designers. And even that one, they're already saying that it's too small. And they built LEGO Campus. Like, if you remember my very emotional video when I left LEGO, like the first video on the channel, I was actually looking over LEGO Campus being built, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's been done, but they're building so many stuff, and the company is growing so much that it's crazy. So I have no idea what that team is, what they're doing. So, but I wish you the best of luck. You know, doing internships is a nice way of getting jobs at LEGO. You know, because many interns that I've known have done, you know, internships for LEGO. They build some relationships. They show that they are good workers, and eventually when they get out of college with their degrees, they've already built a good relationship with LEGO, and makes it far easier to get jobs at LEGO. So yeah, if you're studying on college and there's like an internship program, you can apply or do as part of your studies. Like LEGO is constantly hiring interns for all sorts of areas. So yeah, that's a great way to get a job at LEGO, if you're wondering. Adventurers will be perfect. Many years I want this team, right? Adventurers would be amazing. Did you have any Aquanaut sets as a kid? No, I didn't. But again, a theme that I drooled over watching, not watching, but looking at the catalogs. I didn't have a lot of Lego growing up. Like, not a whole lot at all. You know, my parents weren't rich, but I did have a few, and that taught me a lot of lessons, you know, about rebuilding, and I rebuilt the few sets that I had as a kid like millions of times. And I guess that also pushed my creativity in a way, because since I had a very limited amount of parts, if I wanted to build something, you know, like adventurer set, an adventurer's like thing that I didn't have as a kid, I would try to use my parts to come up with my own adventurers. So yeah, that the lack of Lego sets has actually taught me a lot, you know, a lot of skills. And you know, not saying that that was the reason, but I did get far with it, if I can say so myself. What's your favorite building technique that's not used in 2025? It's really hard to pinpoint a building technique that specifically, but you know, the clipping techniques used for the Titanic, for instance, come to mind. I was completely blown away by the way that the hull in the front comes together with clicking sections like at such weird angles. It was amazing. So it's really hard to pinpoint a specific technique, but yeah, not in 2025. That was amazing. Oh, I did love the one where they use a plate on Rivendell to get all the 1x1 tiles of the roof of Rivendell. The way they use like a plate and they slide it between the tiles, the 1x1 tiles. That was a really fun building technique. That was a good one, and an original one for sure. One of so many that I found on Rivendell. Reason why it's one of my favorite Lego sets ever. How do you keep your back from hurting while doing this for hours? Well, I'm about to reach my limit, so yeah, it's okay, but I'm used to it. And that's probably not very good for my back, as you can probably imagine, because I'm building Lego sets all the time. Stretching, I should do stretches, which I really don't. This might be the last bag of the day. It's past midnight now. I'm starting to feel a bit tired. So yeah, I think we'll get this done and call it a day. It's past midnight, like I said. But I'm happy with the progress that we made. I think this is good. Maybe it wouldn't take 10 live streams to build this all. Do you go on the Lego subreddit? Very rarely. So no, I would say no. When do I expect my review to come out? Whew. It's hard to say, you know, I've only built like, you know, 15% of the set. I don't know, towards the end of the month, perhaps, maybe in 2 weeks, best case scenario. I've got a lot on my hands right now, not only this, but you know, upcoming stuff and embargoed stuff. So it's not easy to juggle all of this. But I think if I can manage to get this built within this week, maybe towards the end of next one I would be able to drop a review. So that's probably my best guess. Will you ever disassemble the retro radio? Not in the foreseeable future. Unless I want to rebuild it. Like I was saying before, like the highest form of praise that I can give to Lego sets these days is Lego sets that I wouldn't mind to take apart to build again. And yeah, Retro Radio being my favorite set of last year would probably be one of those where I actually wouldn't mind to take it apart to build it again, but not to take it apart indefinitely, because it is one that I don't mind displaying, and I won't mind displaying for years to come, I feel. Sticker number 14. Oh, it's one of these. It hasn't been so bad stickers wise, but I guess we haven't covered any of the rooms, which is where most of the stickers will probably be placed. So yeah, so far I've placed like 7 to 8 stickers out of 50. Not so bad. There's a good pace between the amount of stickers that you need to place and then the builds, which is fine. I love Speed Champions because there's some of the craziest and most advanced buildings or sets with the craziest building techniques that you can actually like build for relatively cheap. But the stickers really put me off when it comes to Speed Champions, because you're like placing a sticker every 2 or 3 steps, and that kind of annoys me and puts me off when building those. And actually, what I've just done so far was the entirety of book number 1. So I think that's a really good place to end the build. So yeah, let's just go over what we have so far, I guess. So all of this, not too bad. 14 bags worth of Lego Death Star. We've had some minifigures as well. You know, 4 stormtroopers. Yeah, I've shown them before. And then Luke and Solo and one of the Imperial officers, I think. And yeah, that was... I don't even know where to place this. It goes in here. Face cam, let's go. My throat is super dry. There's that section comparing size to the Black Pearl. I don't feel like it. The set is over there, but it's comparable for sure. I think it's probably about the same length. The Black Pearl should be, and you can't even see it because it's not the right camera. So the Black Pearl should be maybe this long. So it's pretty much the same. The Black Pearl is like very short but very tall. So that should be the case. How many reward points you got with this set? That's actually a good one. Let's see. Lego.com. I think it was like almost 10,000 points. Let's see. How do I see that? Rewards? Points history. Points history. Lego purchase 7,500 points. So yeah, the Death Star was 705,000 points. Oh, I lost the chat. Oh, I closed the chat. Pop out. 7,500 points. So that's a decent discount on an upcoming purchase. Surprised you got this jet. Surprised you got this set. It's so large. Where are you going to display it? That is a good question. I'm not sure I'm going to display this. You'll take your sets apart. I'm assuming that's not the plan for this one. I don't know. This one at least is easier to keep built because it doesn't take that much space, like lengthwise. It's pretty flat, so I can keep it against a window. Not a window, but a wall. But I don't think it will deserve a spot behind on the display, for sure. But yeah, maybe I'll smash it like I did with the Millennium Falcon. Who knows? Do you have Lego Shop in Colombo as the Insiders points up and running? Not yet. That was the issue. That was why I couldn't get the set on October 1st, because they don't have the Insiders points up and running. Otherwise, I would have been able to get the Lego set on day one, and yeah. And I told the story already. I couldn't get it because they're a certified store, so they don't have the Insiders points thing yet running. So I would only be able to pick up the set October 4th. I really wanted the set fast so that I could start doing content about it, and so yeah, I failed to get it from the store, so I ordered online with express shipping so that I could get it in 2 days. But Friday, the delivery I got were the offers. I only got the Death Star today, so that's why we are only starting the build today. But from what I was told, the Lego Insiders points will be up and running on every certified store worldwide, which will be great, because you can actually start amassing points from that. So yeah, but I think it'll take a while. But over time, that's the plan, that all certified stores have the Insiders program up and running. About 7 bags an hour. Speed building skills, and this wasn't very fast. If I wasn't talking, I would be faster, way faster. I think that my build of the Venator is still up, and that was like 6 or 7 hours for the entire build. Not to flex, but I'm sure I will not display this on the IKEA Ivar shelves. I need to do an IKEA building live stream before you can display it. Yeah, some people will need like new furniture to display this, but yeah, it's a big one. But at least it's easier to display than, say, the UCS Millennium Falcon or the Venator. So yeah, it's definitely easier to display, which is one of the strong points of this set. I feel the fact that you can actually display it. And yeah, I think that's it for today. It's been very good streams. Thank you so much for being here, for stopping by, for all of the super chats that people sent. That helps recover a bit of the cost of the set down, but don't worry, I'm good. I'm taking this as a loss, but I bought it because I can, and I won't be hungry because of it. So all good. This was fun. I'll have to think if I'll do a live stream tomorrow, or if I'll just build off stream and then do a new live stream Wednesday. I'll need to figure that out, but I'll let you guys know on YouTube, on Instagram, if you follow me there. And yeah, this was fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. And that's how it ends.